Welcome to another Unboxing Board Games. Since it's football season, let's take a look at Battleball. This game was released back in 2003 by Milton Bradley and Hasbro. It's a light football game, ages 6 and up for 2 players. Each player represents a coach for the 2 opposing teams. And inside we've got a 22 pre-painted plastic miniatures. This team is the Black Hearts. And each of these pre-painted miniatures it's got a different mold, so they're all unique. And since it's a futuristic battle football, we've got cyborgs on each team. When they collide and tackle, they leave behind a pile of debris and get knocked out for that half of the game. Or they could sustain a more serious injury and get knocked out for the whole game. You can see these guys have stickers on the shoulder pads to give them a little more detail and try to indicate which team they're on. This big guy takes up twice the squares that the other guys do. He's a heavy tackle. There's one female character in the game. She's a cyborg for the Black Hearts. The other team is the Iron Wolves. They've got the blue shoulder pads. You'll notice these guys have different color bases, and that doesn't indicate what team they're on. It indicates what position they play. And according to which position they're playing and which color that base is, you match that up to which color die you're going to roll for their movement or their tackling. Different aspects of the game are controlled by the color of the base and the color of the die associated with that. This guy's got a black base, so he'll be rolling the black 8-sided die. Got several more of these polyhedral die. They're all your standard 1 through the max number of sides on that die. Nothing real special about those. This one's kind of special. It's a 6-sided die, but looks like a football. It's used in the advanced rules for the game that involve passing. The instruction manual is a fold-out rule book. It's got decent pictures, illustrations of what they're trying to explain. Rules aren't too bad. They do kind of talk down to the players. For example, there's a notation in here that, you know, if one of your figures breaks, that there's just a tab underneath that you stick it back into the base. I think that most of us could have figured that out without it being noted in the game's manual, but this is the football itself. Since we've got cyborgs throwing around the football and smashing into each other, we can't just use a normal pigskin in the future. We've got to have one of these things. Looks like a football trophy. And neat thing is, when you've got a guy carrying that football, you put the football on his base so you can tell which player has the ball. That's kind of cool. There's an insert kind of describing some of the characters in the game. And we've got player benches for each of the teams. This side has the special teams rules on it. You'd take one of these markers and mark which special rule you want to use for that half of the game. Kind of gives your team some additional abilities, some customization. Here's the same thing for the other team, the Black Hearts. That's the standard side without any special rules. And that's where players are going to go if they get injured during a tackle. And these are debris counters. Kind of looks like these are all different, which is pretty cool. They didn't just use the same set of debris each time. And so that debris is going to be left out on the field whenever somebody gets tackled and creates an obstacle. And then the board fits together like puzzle pieces in 3 sections. So it actually makes for a pretty big playing surface. Here's the other end zone. Let's see if I can kind of fit these together while holding the camera with one hand, to give you an idea of how big this thing is. It's pretty good. So here's a zoom out of that big field, and I'll go ahead and put a player on there so you can get an idea of the size of that playing surface. It's pretty big, pretty cool. So that's a look inside Battleball by Milton Bradley and Hasbro, published back in 2003. This game is no longer in print, but you can still find copies of it on eBay or even thrift stores, things like that. It's not very expensive. So now I want to know what your favorite American football team is. Got my favorite. Go Tigers!